Hi, welcome to Module 6, Cognitive Development from Birth to Age 3. So in this module, we're addressing the issue of how thinking develops, and cognitive skills. So we start off with the behavior approach, which is looking at the general ideas behind behaviorism and learning principles and just applying them with the assumption that the same learning principles that are used in adults were used in children. Now, your discussion question is also related to these learning principles, mostly because students often get confused as to what is what. So please pay special attention to the difference between negative reinforcement and a punishment in your examples. The purpose of that question is so that you can think back both on how learning has played a role for you, as well as being able to distinguish those concepts. Then we move on to the psychometric approach. So in this approach, it's all about studying and measuring IQ. And although we can measure a form of IQ at this early age, the research shows that it's not highly correlated with IQ at a later age. Then we move on to the Piagetian approach. Now, Piaget is pretty much the main guy associated with cognitive development. So you're going to learn about the Piaget's, whichever stage is relevant for the age group in each and every one of the modules related to cognitive development. So the sensory motor stage is the key one for this age group. Then the information processing approach, which addresses issues related to attention and memory. So we look at what we can expect from memory from birth to age 3. Finally, they're moving on, to the cognitive neuroscience approach, which is now looking at the brain structures. So all of these things work together, of course. They're not separate. So the approaches just imply that there's different perspectives, but often trying to address the same questions. So the cognitive neuroscience approach is addressing these questions from the perspective of brain structures and brain development. And then we move to the social contextual approach. Now, this is Vygotsky's view that learning doesn't occur in an isolated context, that learning in these principles really is a very social event that requires other people as models and teachers, and as that's the best environment that people can start to develop cognitively that way. And the module ends with a big section about language development, because language development at this age group it's predominant. It's a huge thing. Well, it's the beginning of language development, right? It only goes from there, but it occurs very rapidly over this time period, and is sometimes some of the most interesting aspects to see how, in what order, children learn to speak and understand their native language and languages outside of their native tongue. So that pretty much takes us through this module. So as always, enjoy, and I'll see you at the next one.